Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Twister, and today I am bringing you guys a brand new GTA Online video. And today I'm actually going to be covering some of the new information about a brand new DLC coming to GTA Online within the next week. And I'm going to be going over some of the content that Rockstar have revealed to us in a recent Rockstar Newswire post. The link to that is in the description. But I'm basically just going to be going over the content that they've included, showing off some of the new cars. We've got supercars, we've got sports classic cars, we've got weapons, we've got clothes, and I'm just going to be analysing this content that Rockstar have shown to us, and also breaking it down and giving my thoughts on what I also hope to see in the new update as well. So the update is called Ill-Gotten Gains, and it's going to be the first part of a two-part DLC, where the second part we can hopefully be able to see it coming into the game within the next couple of months. But this is only part one, and it contains 4 new vehicles. We have a supercar, or what we can assume to be sports classic car, a muscle car maybe, or another sports classic car, and a sedan slash coupe. It's hard to know exactly what car class these are going to be, but we're going to be breaking it down hopefully. And we're going to start with the Pegassi Osiris. Now this is what we can expect to be the brand new supercar, and as you can see, it looks like it's mainly modelled around the Pagani Huayra, but it also takes a few elements from the LaFerrari, which, as you can see, mainly the front bumper and the headlights. Those look a lot more similar to the LaFerrari's features than the actual Huayra's features. But overall, you'll see by the sides and the rear, those look nearly identical to the Huayra. So that's what you'll be able to tell that it's mainly based off of. Like I said, we can expect it to be a supercar, sorry, but we can't really tell where it's going to fit in terms of performance. It may be the new fastest supercar. It may be a little off the pace of the Kings of the Zentorno and the Turismo, or just maybe a beautiful car to drive and something really nice. But we just don't know, but we can expect it to be quite expensive, and that's what I think a lot of the items in this DLC will be. I think they will be quite expensive in general, because after Heist, everyone is probably going to have a lot of money just to spend. This DLC does look pretty much like a High Life version 2, just because of all the items are really show-offy kind of things, just because everyone's got a load of money and they want to show off their wealth with a load of new content and cars. So you can expect the content and the vehicles to be quite expensive, and it could even be, the Pegassi Osiris could even be between 800,000 and 1 million. That'll be even more than the Zentorno, if that is the actual price range, which is pretty damn expensive, nearly as much as the Adder. It might even be more expensive than the Adder, we just don't know. But there we go, that's the Pegassi Osiris, which is hopefully or probably going to be the new supercar. Next up we have the Benefactor Sterling GT. This was the first vehicle that got teased a few weeks back in a previous Rockstar Newswire post. This is going to be pretty much modelled after the Mercedes 300 SLR, not the 300 SL, which a few people have been confusing it for. It's the 300 SLR version, which is more or less a classic race car, so we can expect this to be in the sports classic class. And there we go, it's also got the famous gull-wing doors as well, which is going to be a cool little feature in the actual game. But once again, we can't really tell where it's going to be in terms of performance. Hopefully it's going to be quite up there with the other sports classic cars, such as the Z-Type and the Casco. It might be similar in terms of performance to the Casco. But if there's one thing I do hope it is a lot less expensive than the other sports classic cars, such as the Casco. The other sports classic cars are so expensive. It's probably the most expensive car class in the game, so I can expect it to be around $600,000 to $800,000. Although I do really hope that it's around $400,000, because that'll be the same price of the Monroe. So if it's got a good price to performance ratio, then that'll be pretty good. So there we go. There's the Benefactor Sterling GT. Next up we have the Enus Windsor, and this is actually going to be the first vehicle in the game to come with its own unique vehicle wraps. It's going to come with 8 of them that you can select to put on the vehicle, I'd assume. And the one in this image preview looks quite swaggy, looks really out there, looks really show off, just like a lot of the content in this DLC is going to be. So there we go, that's the Enus Windsor. Possibly sedan, maybe a coupe, we just can't tell, and it's probably going to be quite expensive at that as well. So there we have the Enus Windsor, mainly modelled after the Rolls-Royce Wraith, so that's again something you can expect to be quite expensive, maybe even in the region of $400,000 to $500,000, maybe possibly even more. Like I said, just because everyone's got so much money, regardless of how well the vehicle actually performs, just because of how much money everyone's got, it could possibly be really expensive. So there we go, there's the Enus Windsor. Next up we have the Albany Virgo. Now this one looks quite interesting. My first impression was that it looked exactly like the Manana, which is a sports classic, so there's a hint it could be another sports classic, but once again you just don't know, it could be a classic American muscle car, but I think it's going to be a sports classic. In this image we just get a side-on view, we don't really get to see, we don't really get like a complete view of the vehicle, just the side angle, so it's hard to say what it's going to be, but I think it's going to be a sports classic, and maybe even a bit of a cheaper one. It might be in that little lowrider category or subcategory within the sports classic class, where you've got the Peyote, the Manana, the Tornado. Could be in that range of vehicles. So, and just to quickly mention, I will always be fully upgrading the DLC vehicles, just like every other DLC. I've been fully upgrading cars since the business DLC, I think. So obviously you guys can expect just the same, really, fully upgrading these cars on the channels. Hopefully you guys will look forward to that, because it's the cars in the game, especially in the DLC, that are the most exciting things for me, I guess, and that's the things that I look most forward to. But aside from the cars now, we're actually getting into the other content now. We've got 2 new aircraft vehicles. Well, I say new, they're pretty much just the same as previous aircraft vehicles, just reskinned basically. So these are gold versions of the Swift and the Luxor. Again, you can expect these to be really expensive just because they're gold painted, really. Possibly over 3 million, 2 million, I don't know. Just a guess from my end, but like I said, you can expect them to be really expensive just because of the gold paint, really. But yeah, nothing quite new, just reskins of previous aircraft that we've already got in the game. But again, just a touch, just to show off how much money you've got if you really do have a lot of money to spend. And then finally we've got the usual stuff, which is more clothes. We've got a new weapon actually. In the weapon, in the preview, it's actually gold, so it may actually come default as gold, or we may see a lot more weapon camos and skins for the weapons in game that you can select. So hopefully that's the case. I really want to see some more unique weapon skins. Like CS:GO do weapon skins absolutely amazing, so if we could get something like that into GTA, obviously selecting a load of brand new weapon skins to put on the weapons, I think that would really spice things up and make weapons look a lot better, especially in first person, because I don't know about you guys, I don't really use first person as much as I really would like to. But if you could show off a really awesome weapon skin that you have on your gun, I think I'd use first person a lot more just to admire my gun in the first person view. So there we go, and then just to finish off the usual, we've got clothes. As you can see in this preview, it looks like the character's wearing a similar jacket design to what you saw on Enus Windsor, with some crazy gold studded boots or something. I don't know, it just looks a bit too flashy for me. But what else can we expect to see in this update, you might ask? Well, if there's one thing I absolutely pray for, it's going to be an extra garage. So the last time we got a new garage, an extra garage space, was in the Christmas DLC, and then the time before that we got a new garage in the High Life DLC. So I think the time to get a new garage is probably about evenly spaced in between all these DLCs. So we could get one, or we could get one in the next part. Either way, I'm praying that we do get one eventually, because all of these new cars, it just means that I really do pray for extra garage space to accommodate all these new cars that we're going to be getting. So that's the one thing that I pray for. But also, I really would like to see a lot more other features that they do add into DLC updates when they obviously bring together a full update. Like in the Christmas DLC, when we got the actual full update for that, and we got the really cool feature of being able to save your own character's outfits and then switch them on the go. Even quirky things just like that to make the gameplay experience a bit nicer, just something extra to have. I think something like that would be really nice, and obviously I don't even need to mention if Rockstar could go about fixing some of the lobby experiences and connection. That should just be a given, to be honest, but I think the whole way the lobbies work is just it's a whole thing in itself that could do with an update. But no, we're not going to be talking about that. We're just rounding up this DLC, and there we go. There is pretty much everything that we know of so far in the Ill-Gotten Gains Part 1 DLC, and everything that you can expect to see on my channel when it does get released next Tuesday. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, definitely be sure to leave it a like, rating, and subscribe to the channel. If you are new and you did find this video useful, share it with your friends. I really would appreciate that. And also, with that being said, I will hopefully see you all in my next video. See you later, guys.